still, I'm sorry, I'm still unclear. So the senior housing differential, the way he's able to put an extra floor on
Yeah,
is because you allow now higher?
yeah, he has the
As opposed to
FAR.
80 feet, you allow 105 feet now, I assume? You're
Yes.
not going up 8 stories, you're only going up 1 story.
Yeah,
So the question is, how?
he has the FAR.
But the
he
envelope
can't-
doesn't fit.
The envelope doesn't fit, so we're giving him envelope, which enables him to add 1 story to his building.
And what's the mechanic by which you gave him the extra envelope? Because it's not an 80 story to 105, 80 feet to 105 feet, right? So it's,
We're creating, right now, there's only 1 envelope, say in R7A. What district is your site in?
in general, I mean, I don't mean.
Oh, say in R7A.
Okay.
Okay, there's only 1 envelope. For all, both for market rate housing, for senior housing,
Got
any
it.
kind of housing. So what we're doing is creating a bifurcated envelope. For market rate housing, you have 1 height, which is lower. If you have senior or inclusionary, which gets you a floor area bonus, you have a higher height. And each of these heights is predicated on a set of assumptions about floor to ceiling heights and also on the depth of the building.
And that's only for seniors.
It's for seniors or inclusionary, but in his particular case, it works for his senior project because both of them get additional floor area.
So basically, you're just mixing the senior with the affordable housing, and it can apply to both
For envelope purposes.
for envelope purposes, but that's the benefit.
Yes,
Because you're not adding extra FAR, because if you're
No.
senior housing, you don't get 1% more, one more FAR, you're just giving them a more convenient envelope,
we're giving an envelope that reflects the fact that they already get a higher FAR.
which would apply to both affordable and senior.
Because they both get a higher FAR.
But I think we also do need to clarify that there are some zoning districts where the FAR that's assigned to what are today nonprofit residences for the elderly and what we're proposing to call affordable independent residences for seniors have a different FAR from long-term care facilities and nursing homes. And in some cases
That's not what
there,
we're talking about here,
okay.
No.
right? We're talking about senior housing.
Yeah, senior
Right.
housing, right.
But we are increasing the FAR in a few cases for things like nursing homes and assisted living facilities to match them with the FARs for affordable independent residences for seniors to allow them to be built together.
So even the independents and the adult care facilities will still have the same FAR as
Yes.
the affordable housing. We're
Yes.
bringing everything up to the affordable housing
Yes.
standards.
Yes,
Is really what we're doing,
yes.
which doesn't resolve our fair housing issue,
No.
right?
Right, the fair housing issue is created by the mixing as opposed to separate buildings.
So what's the benefit of someone creating senior affordable housing as opposed to regular, I hate to use the word regular, but you know, affordable housing available to everyone?
Well, it really, obviously, it depends, first of all, senior housing is often built by mission-driven nonprofits,
Nonprofits,
so
right.
it's their mission. It is also,
And the funding source. So the funding source would be that you could, ostensibly, you can have other funding sources for affordable housing that's not seniors, right?
right,
You're
yeah.
saying it's a different funding
Right,
source.
but effectively, in this, today, the SARA program that Jenna administers is really the only funding source for senior housing.
Ostensibly, if we fix our fair housing problem, right, that you can mix these two, then that would be actually a great benefit, but we don't know if we can fix that.
Yeah.
All right, before I close this, Mr. Sanchez, would you like to come back up and tell you
Well,
the reason?
I just have a
you
quick-
can't really do that at the hearing.
Can't?
You
Okay.
can- Someone can come back if I recall them, but you
Maybe-
can't.
Walter Sanchez, Community Board 5. We get a little bit afraid when there's only one zoning district where you raise the FAR and it's R6B. Is there a reason behind that? All the others, you're not raising the FAR here. R6B, it goes from 2 to 2.2. That was our concern.
So following the rules of Robert's rules,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask the question
Thank
once
you.
you sit down.
John.
So, any reason there's only one district that we raised from the R6B?
It's not just one district,
Okay.
it is that district but was raised, but only for senior housing, because in R6B, as opposed to R6A, R7A, and a number of other districts, the inclusionary bump up, which is from 2 to 2.2, doesn't apply to senior housing. So to make it consistent with the other contextual R6 and R7 districts, the inclusionary bump up, which already exists in R6B, was also applied to senior housing. But it doesn't apply to regular market rate housing.
So again, it's to bring everything up consistent with
Yes.
the affordable housing
Yes.
proposal.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this was very interesting. I appreciate really the city's time. They spent a lot of time on this and effort and come in many times for questions and answers, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next hearing is December 3rd. Having no other testimony, this hearing is closed.
Yes, it was. I didn't have to go and call my work.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for taking my suggestion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hearing this.
Nice to see such a reasonable environment. Yeah, you know, I'll probably I read about community board too.
Yes. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I have conditions. I mean, I think you have to take a strong position.
Yeah.
So I think they're hoping that if their conditions are addressed,
It seems like density is really the problem issue.
the ability to support density.
Right,
and
exactly.
infrastructure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I didn't want to be the demand for this kind of things getting higher and higher.
It's interesting how developers like yourself would be affected by permanent affordability and how much. Thanks, Henry. Thought about managing that. Because I think we're sort of up in a discussion. We feel that today, even where we've done it just as a voluntary program, developers have made it work. You know, I don't know if it's because if you're bought the land at such a reduced rate and that.
Well, yeah, it's obviously easier to increase the order.
Yeah.
I'm glad I came here today. This is appropriate for this kind of discussion. I'm hearing a lot more reason. So, you know, the numbers still obviously have numbers.
We are getting pushback on the other end of the spectrum.
Right, exactly, and that's the thing, absolutely.
We're saying, you know, your numbers aren't actually addressing affordability levels that we think we have in our community.
Yeah. There's a discrepancy, and you know, a lot of these, there's very high expectations from voters. Very high expectations. And there's always going to be more and more complaints. You know, it's not affordable. I mean, listen, I'm willing to put in the extra effort and, you know, do to work with the city because, as I explained to you before, I believe that real estate development is a partnership.
I have actually heard that your finance people really do need to meet with us so we can sort of have that dialogue with you and follow up, you know, how financing of permanent affordability makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, we'll definitely be in touch. I owe you an email. I'll be in touch with you. Okay?
Fabulous. Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah, very good.
They've expressed interest we were looking into it for our mayoral, so when we did our mayoral policy agenda back in 2012, 2013, putting together recommendations. I feel like it's like Mark Ginsburg, it was chaired by your dad, Richard Martin John. And so whoever's on the
some various and there's social service, other social services, doctor's offices, and also increased partial risk parking representation. What about these other kind of environments? What about these other concerns?
Oh, I know that's like one of the best parts of it. I was like, you can look out our window.
So what do people learn from you is that it's not so much of a well, it may be a problem, but it's not different from buildings that are now outside of what these specific provisions allow.
One part of two a lot of my friends are living with
Great. Second question. There's been a lot of oral, we heard some of them today.
I live in East
about
Side. I'm right on 108th Street.
Okay. Built into these structures. The reasons that you give, there was an independent study done.
They're all read
So I think our.
So some of the presentations explain to them. That's 4 hour.
Right.
So in those cases, there was in other cases, again, there's a separate regulation. Obviously, there's a
The city is still working really hard and increasing funding to provide affordable housing at
You're not getting
what is 60, 70, 80,000
a year based on what you got.
housing.
Getting 30, 40,
And
and they're doing it.
to do. the affordability level, that we are
Right, so it's the
requiring
Queen's
for
delegation
private
still.
sector supply are travel ratios that will require increase.
Generate revenue.
Well, to generate revenue, right, I mean, we need nonprofit for anybody to.
I don't, I mean, that's
And
where I'm on the side of
it's
I just think it's
rates that then
just
those
take one look at
units
it.
can't be
I don't think one
subsidized
size
and
fits
market as well. So it's really difficult, I mean, there's really sort of like a mathematical formula behind it, what the ratio is, to which somebody is
That's a
not
big gun, but
particularly well developed.
Where the existing
But require the right.
It just doesn't, it would, it probably would not.
Right, and according to a city limits article that kind of did an overview of the study that was provided, that looked at the yield required to bring developers into a certain area, they estimate the yield around 6%. One point of contention that Moses Gates, Director of Planning and Community Development at the Association for Neighborhood and Community Housing Development, raised was that this study was done before amendments to the 4020A program, and I was wondering if you saw if these amendments provided any extra fiscal space for additional affordable units.
You know,
That's a really tough question, I mean,
then
the
you
MI
also
question
look at
was.
take a look at regulations. And you take a look at,
They're meant
yeah, you look at the rent
to at least work with each other.
oh, you mean
I don't know if
1354 street? Because that's happening.
I saw 14, I saw 1440.
The base price
The
for
question
a
was,
studio
quickly,
I'm
just so I have
is $13.50 as
a
of
position.
as of May, because I was looking, I was thinking about moving.
Oh, okay.
13.50.
As of May, well, I saw
Fantastic.
recently, that went
Colin
up.
O'Connor from
And I'm saying,
Okay.